Hello, Madison. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a social worker, and today we're just going to be asking you a couple questions just to get to know you and your environment. Is that okay? Are you comfortable with answering a few questions?
Yes.
Okay. So before we begin, I just want to remind you that everything that is said in this room is confidential, and it will only be shared between you and I. Then that's unless you are putting yourself or another person in harm's way. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So I'd like to begin by asking you a few questions about your family. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are your parents' dates of birth?
My mom is May 5th, 1961, and my dad's August 19th, 1961.
Okay. And are they still together?
Yes.
Okay. And how is your living situation at home? Do you guys live all under the same roof? Are your parents in a good relationship?
Yeah, everything's pretty smooth in my house. We're about to move, so that's like
Oh, awesome. Where are you moving to?
Moving to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, Jacksonville, Florida. That's a really nice place.
Mm-hmm. Exciting.
So you're excited about moving to Florida?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What about any siblings that you have?
I'm the only child.
Okay. So you're an only child. And you guys are moving to Jacksonville in the summer, or?
Yeah, the end of next summer.
Awesome. That's really nice. I'm going to begin by asking you about where you went to elementary school.
Okay.
So what was the city and state that you went to school in?
Crofton, Maryland.
Okay. And were you part of any sports teams? Did you participate in any extracurricular activities?
I swam and danced in elementary school.
Oh, good, good. And then how about middle school? How was your experience in middle school?
It was good. I went to a performing arts middle school in Annapolis for dance.
Very nice, very nice. So you went to a performing arts school, and what was that like?
It was different because it was not in my hometown, and I had to make all new friends. But it was nice and good experience all in all.
Huh. I can see how that would be a little bit difficult transitioning from your elementary school to a new school and making new friends. Was that hard for you?
Kind of at first, but after a few months, I got used to obviously all the people that I knew there and being on the dance team there. It was nice to make friends with them and stuff too. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that the dance team was very helpful in helping you make new friends, and that sounds like a really nice experience to have as a middle school child. And then moving forward to high school, where did you attend high school?
South River High School.
Okay. And did you enjoy your experience at South River?
Yeah, for the most part, it was nice, just high school, but it was all right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you still were in dance and your other extracurricular activities in high school?
I just danced. I did not swim anymore.
Oh, okay. Just dance. And what level of education are you at right now?
I'm a junior in college.
Junior in college. And where are you going to school?
West Virginia University.
Okay. It's a great school. And what are you studying?
Accounting and data analytics.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Thanks.
And are you enjoying your major in accounting?
Yeah, for the most part, it is a little stressful right now, but school's stressful for everyone.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, accounting is definitely one of the more stressful majors to be in. How are you doing this year?
This year, specifically, I've been having a lot of anxiety with school just because it's online and things are a lot different, and these classes are important classes, and I don't feel like I'm learning as well as I should be, so it is definitely causing me some anxiety to an extent, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So you're having anxiety mostly about the transition to online and the workload from school. You feel like you're not learning at the rate that you should be learning at right now?
For sure.
That's very understandable, especially considering the circumstances that we're under right now. I can see why you and other college students would feel as though you're not getting that full education that others will.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me about any specific times where you've experienced more of a heightened level of anxiety as opposed to other times in school?
Yeah, there will be times like when I'm sitting and taking a test, and it's being recorded, and then it's like on a time, like you have to do it by a certain time. That gives me anxiety because I feel like I'm kind of like trapped and I can't like get up and, breathe if I need to breathe. I feel like that's probably the most anxious I am in school as of right now, because during class time it's like if I need to get up and like take a breather, it's not like, nothing's gonna happen. You need to get up and take a breather. But during like an exam, like you don't have a choice. You gotta sit there and do the whole exam. So
Right. So what you're saying is that when you don't have that ability and that freedom to get up and take a second, which we all definitely need, that's
Mhm.
when your anxiety is the highest.
For sure.
And so how would you say that you're coping when you do have an exam? What are there any things that you do now that help you to relax a little bit more throughout the
I
time?
am on medication right now for it, which has helped, and also like I kind of talked to myself during the exam and realized like it's not gonna last forever, and if anything were to happen, you really needed to get up, you can always email your teacher, like my teacher, and be like, God, listen, like I have this issue and that's why I didn't finish the exam, and hopefully they would be understanding, especially right now, like things are so weird. I would hope that they would understand, but I never had to go to that far to have to like actually get up and leave.
So you mentioned that you were on medication. Are you comfortable with me asking what the name of that medication is?
Sure. It's Lexapro, and I'm on 20 milligrams of it.
And how long have you been on the Lexapro?
About 3 months now.
About 3 months. And are you seeing any significant positive changes since you've started taking the Lexapro?
Yeah, I physically have seen that I like can't have a panic attack. Like, even if I get anxious, I won't be able to physically get to the point where I'm like actually having a panic attack because of the medicine, which is nice. And honestly, like it just feels like better knowing that I have something to like fall back to if I'm feeling, stressed or
Right.
get anxious. Like I know like I'm on medication, like everything's fine, like it'll all be okay.
Okay. So the Lexapro has been helping then?
Yes.
And you also mentioned that you were having panic attacks. Are you comfortable walking me through a little bit of what is happening right before the panic attack?
Yeah, so I normally get just like a feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna like pass out or like something's wrong. And then I would start shaking, my heart would start beating, like sweating, the normal things. And then at one point it did get to the point where my muscles spazzed and everything. And I didn't know like what was going on because I'd never had a panic attack that bad. So that's when I knew like I had to get on the medication for sure. So that is kind of what pushed me to it. But I haven't had one like that since the day like before I got on the medication. So.
Right. So that was the last time you've had a panic attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's really good that you've been able to notice that the Lexapro is helping you in those. I mean, that's already a very big progression in your anxiety. Have you ever felt during the panic attacks like you might have been out of control or that you were almost out of your body in any type of way?
Yeah, when I had the really bad one, I was driving, so
wow.
I did feel like I was out of control and that I did think I was like gonna die at that moment. But I mean, since I haven't had one since, I've like kind of gotten back into driving. I used to not be able to even do it at all, and I'm trying to get better at that, so it's taking me a while.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear that you're making progress towards getting back behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So are you mentioned earlier that your anxiety usually is triggered by school and specifically exams. Was it that day that you were experiencing some anxiety about school? Did you have an exam coming up, or was it just?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that you're behind the wheel again, and it seems like the Lexapro is really working out for you nicely. Did you want to be referred to any types of different coping mechanisms for your anxiety when you are having those exams? I know that you mentioned that your teachers are aware of the anxiety and you can email them when you need to, but are there any other things you're doing to try to...
I wanted to go to therapy, but I didn't really haven't really gotten to doing that. I feel like it might be nice to go talk to someone, but I don't know. I haven't really gotten there yet, so maybe one day.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in today and doing this intake with us, and I hope that you'll want to come back and we can continue doing this therapy and hopefully help you through some of those other parts of your anxiety that haven't been addressed yet, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming.